is starting.
Dude, I've been slamming pubs lately.
I've been playing like 8 to 10 a day and going nowhere.
I've been playing with Moo, Husky, Oceana, like a couple of other players, just like playing with one stack, and we are like farming MMR.
That's
But
dope.
the cool thing is we're farming MMR from like literally the best stacks in NA and SA. It's really cool. Moo is such a good player. It's insane. And the way that he captains the game, he always gets it back on track. I'm telling you, man, we're beating like we beat like Monkeys Forever stack. They disbanded because it was such a hard loss for them. We beat like TI Infamous. Uh we beat the TI Infamous stack like 3 times in a row. That kept getting new players, and then we beat just like actual stacks, right? That normally they would just destroy you, and we're just farming them.
Dude,
It's
that's
cool, man.
that's your in. Who's the J Storm offlaner right now?
Brax. Oh, come on, man.
I
No
mean,
way.
there's nothing like kind of backstabbing your boy and just taking
No,
over you.
I would never. I would never. That is blasphemy. Brax
I'm
Brax
kidding.
is the best offlaner in North America other than Universe. Second best offlaner in the world as well, other than Universe.
Really?
In my opinion, yes.
What about Zai? Have you heard of that
Nope.
guy?
Nope. Faith Beyond, Zai, I don't give a fuck. It's Universe, then Brax, then Zai, then Ice 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 if he's on Timbersaw.
Okay.
Brax is a fucking legend. It's awesome.
I mean, I know that. I just played a game with Henry, actually. We were in a
Did
pub.
you?
Yeah, we were in a pub together.
Did you queue into each other, or did you
Yeah.
intentionally
Yeah, we queued
stack
into
with
each
each
other.
other?
He was playing 4, I played 5. It's good stuff.
He's playing 4. Okay, interesting. So he, I think he's trying to switch. He's trying to switch.
He's just trying to find games, I think, is what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure playing mid at the highest MMR is bad.
This stack that I've been playing with, the cool thing is that everybody is really cool with just trying, testing things, trying like weird heroes. So I've been playing like Bloodseeker offlane.
Nice.
And just absolutely dumpstering with it. I'm 3-1 with it, but the 4 games that we played, like they were 8K average MMR games, right? Like they were literally the top game on the watch tab. So I know 3-1 doesn't sound that good, but that's 3-1 in literally the highest rated game in the world at the time that they were played. Of course, because of the 5v5. Like,
what are you leaning it with?
So like typical supports, Rubik is really good because you can
lift into the blood, right?
Lift into the silence. And also, like, you can get a little bit of rupture damage with Rubik.
Mm-hmm.
Stunners in general are pretty good, like long-range stunners. Because
Venge
a lot of the
nice.
time when you... Venge would be great, actually. A lot of the time when you, like, walk up and rupture people, they just, like, TP away from you. So if you have somebody who can just wait with the stun, it's really good. And I just really like it because, like, think about... So, number one, think about the synergy of, like, Bloodseeker with Spear Vessel. Right, it's percentage damage
it's super good
based on total HP. So you get people really low really quickly, and then you run quick, then you run fast.
Yep.
Right. So and then it's a move speed item. It's a utility item. It's an item that gives you HP, gives you mana regen, which he needs. Solar Crest, also a utility offlane item, gives you
mana and tankiness. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you like Roche taking abilities, gives you tankiness. You go for the armor talent, you go for the health talent. Like the hero, legitimately, if you go for the
he's so tanky,
if you go for the defense talents, he's insanely tanky.
Yep.
I've been going.
I've been thinking for the longest time. Sorry to interrupt you, but I've
No,
played
no
1,000 games on the hero, and
oh,
I think utility Bloodseeker is the
I,
best way to play him
I,
because
I think so too. I honestly think so too.
he's just not that good of a late game carry because he's like if he blood rages himself to
But
do more damage, he's
But
squishy.
dude, as a utility hero, he's actually such a cock to deal with.
Yeah,
Because like Rupture is always going to be incredibly useful and incredibly damage dealing in the late game, even if you don't have damage items. And that's kind of the cool thing about going for like the Solar Vessel sort of strat, because they're still damage items, but they're also utility items. Like the pseudo damage items are best on this hero, because then you're still able to like kill supports or even kill cores if you have another core with you. And one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to try it as an offlaner is because how can you try to outpush a Bloodseeker with his W? You can't outpush that, right? And the lane is all about securing range creeps and pushing the wave.
125 pure damage, like very easy to secure range creeps
for
and
like
shove the wave.
70 mana.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So you just nuke the wave and then pull, and then if they ever come try to contest you pulling, you just hit them until they're low and chase them into their tower, and then they're fucked. I haven't like lost a single lane with this hero. And that you could eventually cut the creep wave too with your Q because it just heals you. So
yeah, I completely agree. Like I think he works fine in the safe lane, but you would rather have a like hard carry as your mid, like a Medusa or like a Morphling or something like that, Storm Spirit, because he like isn't a late game carry. He just really will never stand up to like a Morphling or
let
something.
me tell you, Donnie, I played a 2-hour game and I had a Bloodseeker on my team, and I can confirm to you that hero is not a late game hero. Neither is Tinker. I know that sounds shocking, but Tinker actually isn't either, because at that point he doesn't have enough slots.
Yeah.
Everybody has 6 items, and Tinker still has to have Travels, Blink, like Ether Lens, Bottle. Sometimes, like he just can't do what you would want a 8-slotted hero to do. It's very sad, actually. If you ever try to chain hex people, they have Lotuses, Eon Discs, shit like that just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, I discovered something when I was playing Bloodseeker offlane. I had a Jakiro on my team. Did you know that homing missile aggroes the first wave? So
really?
I'm gonna try. Yes. So I'm gonna try offlane Jakiro. You can missile the wave, and the creeps do 0 damage to it. So if you missile the wave, the creeps aggro to it, and it's like fissuring the wave as an Earthshaker, except for a way longer period. Like you straight up cannot block the creeps on the opposing side to not get them to go into tower.
Wait, so how does that work? Do you homing missile a enemy that's trying to block the creeps, or you homing
or the wave? Doesn't matter. The missile as it's spawning.
Oh, because it just sits there and they all come to it. I see. Because it takes a couple seconds for it to actually like get up and fly. I understand.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. So I'm gonna try Jakiro offlane, and I'm gonna like cut the creeps at the tier 3 probably, and just missile it, and then take 2 or 3 waves of solo XP under the tower. And just pick like a Trilaner or an Enigma or something like that.
Yeah. You can also use Tombstone on Undying and clear the first wave before it even gets to the tower. And then
the only problem with that is like you're possibly feeding a Tombstone.
Well, that's why you do it. They're tier 3. But yes, I agree.
I mean, the missile might not work if people know what's about to happen, because they could just go kill it.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can. I'm sure you can get some people just because they're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let us get into the replays. Happy Halloween, everybody. It's raining here, so unfortunately, nobody's really trick-or-treating. I went to the mall earlier today, and there was kids trick-or-treating there, which was interesting.
Dude, I had a weird experience. I went to Costco today to get a bunch of groceries, and there was one person in the store that I saw that was dressed up, and she was dressed up as like a zombie with like, blood and all this weird stuff. She kind of looked homeless. And so I turned a corner around one of the aisles and was like moving my cart. And then this lady just like walked up and just like grabbed my cart, and she was just a zombie and didn't say anything and just kind of like blankly stared at me for a second. And she's like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is there a zombie grabbing my cart? And then she's like, oh, sorry, I thought that was my cart. And I was like, oh, you're dressed up for Halloween. You're not actually a zombie.
Man, I live in kind of like a hillbilly area, so I was walking around the mall, and I wasn't able to tell people that just looked really weird from people in costumes, and it felt really bad because I wanted to be like, man, that's a nice costume that you're wearing. You look like you legit look like a zombie, dude. And then it's just like, oh, I have a medical condition, or like it's some guy that's on meth or something like that. That's just totally out of his mind and limping because he fell off of a bridge.
That's
high on meth. Yeah, it's a pretty weird, wacky area. It's like how they say with Walmart. So you go in and you see all sorts of people.
I didn't have to download this replay. I feel like we did this one last week.
Maybe
the Elliot one.
This was Elliot. Let me see. Everyone, we're all ready to go, boys. Okay, yeah, that was October 24th. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. Start at a Shadow Trader then. We actually don't have very many replays this week then.
Okay.
Interesting. So, hey, if y'all are looking to get some replays analyzed, then hit up patreon.com/Dota Alchemy.
Dota Alchemy.
Hell, we may even get to some chat replays today.
Yeah.
As long as they're not shit. No submitting shit replays, guys. No wins.
Nobody wants to see your win.
No you owning. I understand it's very exciting
to win a game of Dota.
In Dota. We all do it on occasion. And you should that's just not what this is. That's not what this is for. If I would encourage you, if you did own in a game, maybe you can make a video about it and tell people what you did and give them a bit of an analysis and help people get better. That's pretty cool. But we don't want to do it.
Exactly.
What do I think of Game Leap channel and Speed? I think the Game Leap channel is a big advertisement for GameLeap.com, but I think Speed Dota is phenomenal. The guy can speak eloquently and gets
churning out content, man.
Oh, he's a beast. He's a real beast. Kudos to him. I do feel like I hope they pay him well because because he is and no disrespect to Game Leap, but he is fucking carrying them. So
yeah, I honestly haven't been on their website. Sphere. I don't even know if they have redone any of their guides. Like, I have no idea. It might literally just be him, like, pulling advertisement to guides that were done by BSJ like 6 years ago. Who knows?
Maybe, but geez, does he make content? He makes good content too. I mean, they do have a full editing team, so that does make it a little bit easier. But the idea, the brain power for like the content has to come from somewhere, and that's Speed.
I like his Guess the Rank. That's a fun series.
I was thinking about doing something like that for a while. I think there's a few series that like every Dota 2 content creator like kind of thinks about, or you have an idea that's like not quite there yet that maybe you'll do in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I mean, I've just seen like Bowie, for example. I remember he titled something Meme or Meta, right? Meme or Meta directly after you made a Meme or Meta video.
Oh.
And obviously Bowie's not like starved for ideas. He's not copying the title. It's just a good title. So he just used it because he thought of it. I doubt Bowie even watches our content. He's probably too busy making his own.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I've watched maybe like 2 Game Leap videos in the last year, but it's because I'm playing games and making my own videes.
Yeah, exactly. People always reference like
are you guys copying other stuff? It's like, no, I literally don't even see it.
Well, people talk about like, oh, is this a shot at Speed?
Right.
They'll say that in the comments. It's like, man, I haven't watched a single Dota 2 YouTube video in like 2 weeks.
Right.
So I have no idea what the other guys have been saying. Just like due to lack of time. That's all.
Yeah. All right, so let's
That's
get
it.
into this replay. I should have crushed my lane, but I missed a lot of CS. It was a free lane for me, literally. I know this game was played at 2 a.m., but despite XD. But despite losing the game like crazy, I think my mega strat of cutting waves and being Anti-Mage was very good, according to Gabe and Dota Plus. Like over 95% chance win rate for enemy team. I really want you guys to see this. We actually won it. So you basically just want us to look at a game where you owned? Is that what you're saying? Really wanted to know if what I did was correct way to come back after the trash laning.
All right, Donnie. So here's where we make a decision.
Do we only watch his shit lane and then move on?
Do we shit on our boy here for submitting a win, or do we give him what he wants for being very specific about his request? Because I do appreciate the specificity of the request. I do appreciate that. And you can go fuck yourself, though, because we don't take wins here.
Yeah. So you've missed 3 out of the first 4 CS because you didn't buy a Quelling Blade even though you had gold for it. So
biggest mistake so far, he blocked the creep wave versus a solo laner, sent him a double wave. This is what I was talking about with the gyro missile. What is wrong with this guy that keeps coming back?
We keep getting spammed in chat for some reason. I don't understand why. Who's bothering to spam our chat right now? There's 80 people here. Like, what? What?
It's interesting.
All right, I'm gonna mod JCJ.
I'm surprised JCJ's. We don't have any mods. I think actually.
Don't have any mods in chat now.
I think we have literally 0 mods.
Yeah. Now we have 1. Anyway.
Right click block. He keeps making accounts and coming back.
Yeah.
So. Oh my god, it's just like some 13-year-old.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I'm like, I find it kind of funny. I don't know.
It's like a throwback to high school like IRC forums where you could like ruin people's days. Just
Dude, I was at like a family lunch, some picnic, and one of my step cousins, I guess you'd call him, he's like a little guy. He's like, I don't know, 5 or something. And he was running around making noises, and I was fucking laughing my ass off at him. And so he kept doing it more and more and started flapping his body around. So I was laughing really hard. All of the other adults just were like watching him and just like, this kid has too much energy. He needs to be put down. I was laughing my ass off, and it completely encouraged him. It made it so much worse. I am bad with kids because I encourage bad behavior. I find it fucking hilarious. It's not my kid. I'm not gonna have to go home and deal with that. Deal with it being annoying.
Right.
And in doses, you can go to a kid and be like, oh, that kid making fart noises is funny. But I'm sure if they're doing it all the time, it's like, hey, fuck off, kid.
Right.
I'm giving you up for adoption, you motherfucker.
That's the best way to discipline them. Tell them that their life will be over.
Yeah, I think
life
so too.
As they know it will be over.
Okay. Yeah, the lane is ruined by the block. That's like you blocked the creep wave and just gave him he's one guy. You have 2 guys down here jerking off, and this guy's just getting a free lane.
Yeah,
for no reason.
You can't even harass him with your mana break that you skilled first because he doesn't have to be near you. You're just giving him free experience.
Dude, look, he's CSing a little bit too. If he didn't suck, he would have got those. You just press Q.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, this is a Pango's wet dream. And now the lane has to be pulled back, which means he can go over and contest it and just be playing against a solo Lion, which a Pango can do perfectly fine because Lion's a useless hero. Stop picking this as a pause 5, please.
And then the lane's going to shove out again.
Again. All right. Yeah, this is straight up like a horribly played laning phase.
Yeah.
This guy is getting a free game when he it's like starting with 3 queens in chess and then still somehow losing. That's
there's
what
like
this is
zero
equivalent to.
chance that you would lose this game if you were this Pangolier, even though you don't play Pangolier.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I play Pango.
Anyway, you would not
Okay,
lose
I'm
this
sorry.
game if you got this start of a lane.
I mean, I'm an idiot, but maybe Brax wouldn't. You know, a good offlaner wouldn't.
I'm trying to make a point here, Jenkins.
I see the point. Right, the point
really
doesn't.
just blowing it when I'm trying to lob you this question.
I'm just saying, man. You know, I don't want to. You know, listen, we all make mistakes. That's all I'm trying to put out there.
Okay. Well,
nobody's perfect.
Well, Shadow Trader certainly isn't perfect. Oh, how's that? How's that for a flame?
Oh my god, this is the easiest lane of this Pango's life. Holy shit.
Dude,
what a disaster.
Look at this. There's just so many creeps going towards him.
He is having such a wet dream right now.
He's the same level as the Anti-Mage. But I guess this is not what he wants us to look at. But yeah, don't do that shit, man. You don't have to block the creeps. You literally don't have to block him unless you're against an Earthshaker and you know he's going to block his creeps. I think that's like the only hero that I can think of where that's relevant.
I mean, if you scout them blocking their creeps.
Yeah.
But that's like, it's so specific.
Okay, so you get your Battle Fury around 20-ish minutes. That's
holy shit, they have a 10k gold lead.
It's a pretty rough time to get a Battle Fury. Oh, what do you know? Pangolier is having the best game on his team.
Huh.
I wonder that happened.
I wonder why this game was so hard.
Oh, look at that.
Maybe it's because the guy that was versus 2 people, the second most farmed in the game.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Alright. Picking up bounties. I guess he wants us to look at his wave cutting or something.
Holy shit, you maniac. Oh my god. All right. Can we bring this back a little bit?
Sure.
So, number one, here's a problem. Pause right now.
Okay.
You have no information about where the enemy team is. You should not TP top until you see that they have relocated towards the bottom lane.
Yes.
You are TPing assuming that they will do this. And if they are good players, they will not show and they won't do this and they'll kill you, which they did. So you like basically this is obviously assuming, and forgive me if I'm being too presumptuous here, but what appears to be happening to me, just watching this brief clip, is that you are playing in the same like flow as RTZ, but not with the same reasoning and logic that he uses. He would only TP here if he sees the enemies responding to this bot push. Otherwise, he'd stand in the trees bot and wait to see somebody on the map, and when he sees somebody on the map, he would go wherever they aren't. So he might still stay here. So you do not give yourself that option by just TPing to farm the top lane. You are cucking yourself with this TP, and your death is a direct result of this. It's not a result of the misplays that happened after. That is one thing I always tell people in coaching. There's always a reason. Like, I don't blame you for fucking up and dying there. I would die as well because you didn't wait for the proper information to TP, so you're in the situation that even Arteezy probably wouldn't be able to escape. So a lot of people in the lower MMR brackets would look at that and be like, oh, that mechanical misplay, you died, haha, you suck. No, that doesn't matter. I would die there too. But Arteezy wouldn't have TP'd. That's the difference. Is that that's basically all I have to say about this, I think. And this is a big thing on Anti-Mage. Like, this is all of the hero for the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is not just something that you do on Anti-Mage. It's something you should be doing all the time in the game is look at your minimap. Can you see where the other team is? If not, pause. Take a breath. Don't randomly go somewhere. Don't randomly waste your TP.
Committing the TP, your TP is the single most important cooldown in Dota.
Yeah. Like, it's okay to not do anything for 30 seconds and wait to see what happens, right? Like,
if the enemy team is not revealing themselves, then they aren't doing anything either.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine, especially when you're losing. That's fine.
Yep. Okay, so
Okay,
2 of them do show on the
but
minimap now.
so Slark TP, he can connect. I would run past this wave. I would not. So if you see them bot, you know that they're swinging towards the bot area. You want to run past the wave. You don't want to. You don't want to run into like where they. Okay, so you run in D ward. I think this just isn't your job.
You could
I think
also
you
just
wanna,
Quelling Blade them with Battle Fury instead of being stuck on a cliff.
I think you just want to blink up towards the top lane. You want to keep these guys like moving around the map towards you.
Right.
They're not going to be protecting their next creep wave because there aren't any creeps to farm there.
Exactly.
Just go towards their base. Blinking towards your base is a mistake on this hero. It's almost always a mistake. I think TPing back towards your base is a mistake. I think the first TP was a mistake. I think blinking back towards your base is a mistake. You want to be cutting. You want to be making as much pressure on the map as possible. Now you're all stuck with it inside your base. Imagine if you were still bot split pushing this.
Yep.
You would have some ability to get out of the base, but now you don't. Now you need to do something to get out of the base. The enemy team needs to like fuck up or something.
Yep.
Or you need to TP, which is insanely dangerous.
Yeah. Or if you were still in the top lane and you just skipped the first wave or even skipped the first 2 waves and were just farming their jungle and then farming the next creep wave or something like that, then maybe they just run away from their base instead of pushing high ground.
And maybe like 4x this shit because it's pretty easy to all of the problems that we're going to be talking about are going to be in regards to this sort of shit. So they dive, they fuck up. There's this crazy team fight that didn't need to happen in the first place. You almost lose a Rax tower, and they fuck up. So you're really lucky that they fucked up and you're able to get outside of your base.
Yep.
So now your team can push out, as you can see on the map. They're all moving out through the jungle, through the lanes, because they feel safe now. But just consider that the only reason this had to happen was because you gave away the position in the first place where you could exit the base. And if you have an AM and you're losing like this, you're cool with just stalling until the timing.
Yep.
I think this is better than what we saw last time.
Yes.
Where you're farming your way to a lane as opposed to going to a lane and then farming the jungle next to the lane. You want to be pushing these lanes and like yo-yoing them around the map as much as possible.
Don't like this. Really don't like this.
I would say just keep pushing the top tower.
Exactly. You have a TP. You don't need to come back to the side shop to get another TP. Like you already have one. Why'd you walk over to the side shop to TP? Why not just like continue to shove the wave, get these creeps on their tier 2, cut the next wave at their tier 3, and then TP back if it looks like you can win the fight? Also,
I think you spend a lot of time running at jungle creeps. You TP to like this hero is about creep waves, not about neutral creeps.
Also, you can see their entire team. They literally just took a fight here. So there's no reason not to push the creep wave first.
Well, also, you should really go push that top wave.
Yeah.
Make sure that the tower is getting sieged. The moment somebody presses TP, you blink into the trees and then TP bot and head towards the creep wave, and then you would be sieging this tower as well and probably get the top tower.
Yep.
Like I think this could be a lot faster. I think you're on the cusp of doing the very right thing, but you should be hitting the bot tower right now, in my opinion. You see everybody.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, either you're like back here, but before they started going high ground, I feel like you could just be farming their triangle while your creeps hit the bottom tower. Somebody responds, maybe they don't, and then if they don't, you push the bottom
Honestly,
wave.
in a game like this, I would never hit jungle creeps ever. I would go bot, and then I would immediately blink towards the mid wave and cut the wave at the fucking tier 3.
Yeah.
And if they kill me, so be it. I don't care.
That works too. But they're diving instead of hitting buildings again. So basically, they gifted you this win is what it comes down to. That's what I've seen. Because somehow you haven't lost all of your racks.
I just split pushing the top lane.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Anyway, let's move on to the next replay.
Okay. Yeah, I linked all of them there.
Perfect. I got the Winter Wyvern one next.
Nothing against you, Shadow Trader, by the way. We shit on any wins. That's the rule here. That's the house rules.
Yep. That's how she goes.
So
sorry if that was a little bit brutal for your self-esteem, but give us losses and that won't happen. We'll take it a lot easier on losses. Like this one. 38-18. That feels rough.
50. Winter Wyvern. Should I have fought in the mid game, he says.
What do you guys think about Coddle currently? I think he's busted. You would be correct, sir.
Coddle is insane.
Coddle is very good. That's one of the reasons I haven't been climbing when I've been playing so much Dota. I've literally stopped picking Coddle entirely. I've been playing only Tree. I've been playing Tree and then a couple of random heroes that I don't play very often and losing with
Coddle is like the best position 5 in Dota.
I agree.
Dota 2 Pro News, where can you submit a replay to you guys? Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy. We have it as a reward on there. There's a Patreon patron replay review session, which at first we did it for just patrons, but then we decided may as well just make it public. There's more content.
Yeah.
But sometimes we get to chat replays, not very often though, because usually there's a lot of patrons that submit. So a lot of the time we just do that. The patrons. But hey, we don't have many tonight, so.
Yep. And Vicky says, should I have fought in the mid game? All right, so we'll skip to the mid game. Take a snapshot of the game around 15 minutes or so. We've got Shadow Fiend having a bad game. Bristleback Gyro doing fine. OD moving in for a Kaya. Chaos Knight going for Midas after Treads. Elder Titan, Kunkka offlane, Chen.
Oh, Chen's a busted hero, man.
Shadow Fiend going for a Shadow Blade. 14 minutes in, has nothing. Bristleback rushed at Crimson Guard. And we've got a Gyro going for Ags halfway there. Okay.
Bunch of clarities. Want some bracers as soon as possible.
Yeah, bracers, and I think medallions really value, or like a Bassi if nobody else has one. Okay, your Lena does, but having armor against CK is really good.
All right. Y'all need to be playing around your Bristleback. This guy is solo killing Chaos Knights in the enemy jungle. He should not be doing that alone, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You really want to be playing around your tempo hero as a pause 5. You don't want to just be like running around doing shit on your own at 15 minutes. You can be running around and doing shit, but make sure to do it in a place where you can connect with your
strongest hero.
Heroes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes that'll change. It could be your mid, it could be your offlane, it could be your carry, depending on whose game is going well. But in this one, it's definitely the Bristle.
I mean, he just solo killed the CK. Gyro should also be moving out of his lane. He's just bad, so he's not doing it.
Yeah.
But because that's another tempo hero. But a lot of the time, like I said, you play with these gyrocopters. They're like, oh, I'm a carry. I need to stay in the safe lane. So they fucking do, and then they die. And then they wonder what they could have done better. And it's like, probably not pick a tempo hero if you're not going to fight. That's a start.
Yeah.
But Bristle is like, undoubtedly, this hero is going to keep fighting, and he probably wants to fight. So you definitely want to go to him. He's just chilling in the bot lane. You defending top is definitely fine. But this is, generally in these games, you're going to rotate between these sorts of like strategies where it's like, okay, I'm going to be the top defender. Now I'm going to go play in the bot lane and try to, get towers with my Bristleback. Now that your Bristle's top, that actually kind of ruins your map that he's top. That kind of sucks. There's nobody applying any pressure right now.
Yeah, now you have to go to him and attack a really fortified part of the enemy team's map.
Yeah.
I think part of this could be because there's no vision bottom, so I think it's kind of important that you put a ward somewhere on their shrine so that your team feels comfortable playing in the enemy jungle, because they should. Like, they should be playing in the enemy jungle right now.
Yep, I agree. Vision dictates how your cores can be playing. And, I mean, if you have the idea that... You see what happens when, like, this shit happens... Like, everybody has to go top. Like, the map is just, like, in a bad place. It's, even if you get that tower, it usually doesn't result in any, like, extra map control. And it's very hard to get without dying.
Yeah, and now you're just reacting to stuff. Like, because stuff was top... Then a bad fight happened, you TP'd there late, now you're stuck top because you're a slow hero, you can't really relocate to anywhere else.
I would completely agree with this. Like this whole replay so far seems like a lot of reaction, as opposed to taking the reins and trying to get shit done in the game.
Yeah.
And I think with the heroes that you have versus the heroes that they have, you want to get shit done as soon as possible because they have OD late game, they have Chaos Knight late game, Kunkka late game is insane. Like eventually they're gonna dumpster you.
Yeah.
I think. So you definitely don't want to be playing slow. You want to be playing fast. And how do you play fast? You play in the enemy jungle because you kill them and you take a tower. You die in your own jungle, they take your tower. As you can see, you lost to tier 1 whenever that shit happened top. Next tower is going to be your mid. And you're slowly going to... Is this a win?
No, they lost this game.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, so I think that right there what happened was okay. Like, I would have liked to see you at least use your camera to look at the fight that happened bottom, but your team won it without you. So then getting both the top and the mid lane shoved in is pretty good, and then you can connect with your team and continue to pressure the tier 2 bottom, but you need to have vision to then place in the jungle so that you can continue pressuring and keep track of where people are TPing in. But yeah, I definitely think that now is the time to kind of just like take up full occupancy of the enemy jungle. Like, you're ahead, you've got strong cores, OD is really your only threat.
OD's a big problem. I imagine this guy just solo carries the game. It's very good against all your cores.
Yeah.
I guess one thing I do want to say before I go refill my tea real quick. Oh, fuck, where was I? Okay, I haven't seen you, like, this is the only time that you've grouped up with your team, but it's because they've come to you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be, like, too rigid in Dota when it comes to, like, making statements like, oh, you should always be with your team or something like that, or you should always play bot. Like, I do think it's fine that you, like, TP top to try to defend a tower for a little bit, and then maybe walk towards mid, grab a bounty rune, but you want to do all of this stuff while connecting with your team. Like, you want to try to be around your team as much as possible, but also get that same shit that you were trying to do done on the map. And the way that you do that is that you push one wave, enemy team backs off, you immediately run over to your team, or you smoke if you need to connect, or you ward on your way walking towards your team. Or let's say you're top and you want to make your way bot because that's where your team is. Nuke out the wave top, run to mid, nuke out the wave mid, only one nuke, run to your team. Like, things like that. That's how you play good, fast Dota, is that you're doing a mix of the stuff that we're seeing on screen right now, and then also a mix of being with your team and fighting. Because right now, this is basically just been playing on your own. And that's half of it. That's half of good Dota.
Right, and I think that part of that just comes from needing to play faster, because if you make the decision to push out a wave top, it's not like you're going to push the wave, you know, like you splinter blast the wave, it kills the range creep and damages all of the melee creeps except for the one that you targeted, but it doesn't kill any of the melee creeps. So you're not just going to sit there and wait for your splinter blast to come off and cooldown and use it again, and you're definitely not going to sit there in the lane and hit each creep until it dies either. All you have to do is kill the range creep. So you just throw your splinter blast and then you run to your team, and the wave will push, and it'll keep stuff moving. Like, I was basically just saying that if you want to play away from your team, you need to be doing stuff faster. Like, you can shove a wave, just throw a splinter blast, and then run to your team, because the splinter blast will kill the range creep, which means that the wave's going to push. You're not going to sit there and last at everything.
And then job is done. You're out of there.
Yep. And that's all you really have to do. And it'll start feeling like you're kind of in two places at once to the enemy team if you're moving that quickly, because you do a job here and then you're back doing another job there. And then all of a sudden they're like, man, our lanes are always shoved onto our side of the map, and this Wyvern is still with his team counter-initiating
these fights. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My thoughts exactly, dude.
Okay, so here,
but you're doing the half of it. Like, it's a start. It's a start. All you need to do is work in the connection with your team.
Yep.
And let me tell you, it's once you start thinking about it, it's not really the hardest thing to master. It'll take like a week of just thinking about it, and you're good. You'll play so fast.
Yep. Okay, so here's a rough spot. As a position 5, this is always tough when your team is playing aggressively and you're just a position 5 who's slow and you don't have a whole lot of health. And now there's enemy heroes in between you and your team who you need to be able to cast spells on. So Wyvern has one advantage, which is that you can Arctic Burn. So I would definitely be Arctic Burning over here into these trees, or over here into these trees, because you're definitely not going to be able to just walk past the CK and OD to be able to cold embrace somebody or get off a curse. So you need to already be thinking about how to move into this fight, because I mean, technically you should be there to stop that from happening to Gyrocopter. Like, that's your job this game, is to literally cold embrace the person that CK goes on every single fight, and then hopefully Winter's Curse
Winter's
somebody
Curse
near
somebody.
CK. Like that.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. So if you're not in position to do that, it means that you are, again, maybe not playing fast enough, not anticipating where you should be. I think in this scenario, if we want to get really technical into like small things, right now you see the CK cast this thing. I would immediately smoke myself in Arctic Burn, because that's going to allow you to actually get close enough to the team fight, maybe even run in front of the CK and Winter's Curse him so that you can't backstab your team or something like that.
To get a little bit less technical and more so like strategic, I suppose, this fight doesn't accomplish anything anyway either. So your team just kind of ran at you in the mid lane. They ran at the heroes in the mid lane. And I think if you were warding in their jungle and ushering your team to play in their jungle, then this fight would be a lot better, because it would be for a specific purpose. It would be for the bot tower. It would be because the enemy team walked up a high ground that they shouldn't. It would be because they're fighting on vision. It would be because you got a pick off. It would be for a particular reason, rather than just this random fight for literally no reason, which loses you the mid tower. Like that's if you can be the person that you don't even need to talk. You can just ping, and through giving vision, your team will play around the bot side of the map.
And then just sit down there and don't come. Like, don't come to that fight. Sit down in the bottom lane and make your team come to you. You know?
Yeah. It's often better to do that if your people won't listen. It's often better to do that than to go and show up to fights that are meaningless.
Yeah.
Because then at least somebody's farming. Then at least somebody's getting something done on the map. And sometimes even you split the enemy team up, and then when your idiots fight for no reason, they're fighting at an advantage.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's tough though, because you definitely do need to be at fights, because you're super important.
You have a TP scroll. I mean,
right.
If a fight is bad, a fight is bad. You're gonna lose anyway. Like, can't outskill. It's like people trying to outskill in the laning phase when you're supposed to lose a lane.
Right.
If you're taking a fight that you're just supposed to lose, it's like, oh, I could have been there and pressed my buttons. Like, well, you shouldn't have even fought there in the first place, because you're taking like a 20-80 roll. You know, that's not good. That's not going to consistently win you Dota. You'd rather just be like, all right, maybe my team will win without me. Maybe they'll feed, but I'm going to be getting shit done on the map, so that we don't just instantly lose. I mean, now the game is so hard because OD just killed like 3 people.
Yeah, look at his net worth. He's so farmed.
Higher than anybody else. He's got a blink. He's got his full Shivas, which is god damn it. Why did he go Shivas instead of sheep? I think if he goes sheep, the game is just over.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, already it looks pretty over, just considering it's OD versus these particular heroes.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to play like it's 2 agi heroes and a strength core versus OD.
That's just game over. Like, you can just solo kill all 3 of you at once.
Anybody, yes. He hits the bristle 3 times and then ults, and everybody on your team except for the supports will probably still die too, because you're just both squishy.
Yeah.
But the cores will die because they have no int.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Yep. Xavi. Pause 5, Jakiro. So many pause 5s. I messed up double pulls, all of them. I'm a fucking idiot. But something went wrong in the mid game and we lost. So that seems like an interesting point to look at. If he says something went wrong, so he isn't really sure like what went wrong. Maybe we can figure that out for him. First of all,
right here, 25 minutes ish.
That's about right. Yeah. First of all, how to not die so much as support Jakiro. If you look on Dota Buff, I have about 70% win rate with him, but there's no game under 13 to 14 deaths. I die often in the first part of the game until I get levels, then I crush the late game with Atos Veil pressing buttons like a monkey combo. I need positioning advice for this support. Thank you. Okay, we can talk a little bit about split pushing. However, I do want to do a bit of a tangent here. So my current Dota team, we have this rule where for every stupid death, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but for every stupid death that we have on the team, you have to put $1 into a money jar, and the person who has the least stupid deaths at the end of the week gets all of the dollars in the money jar. That's kind of what we do. And what determines a stupid death is a death that just was not necessary and didn't accomplish anything on the map. It was just for irrelevant farm or something like that, where you didn't need to die to strategically improve the map. So if you're running around and feeding on Jakiro in order to get lanes out, and you're just taking these like plays where you're not risking the game, but you are risking your life, then that's fine. However, if you're dying when it's totally unnecessary to die, as in lanes don't need to be pushed, or you don't need to go and hit a tower, those are stupid deaths. And that's what I'm going to be looking for in this replay, is those stupid deaths. If you're feeding 14 kills and you're just taking high percentage plays and they keep killing you because you're a Jakiro, I don't care. That doesn't matter. Deaths don't matter in Dota unless they're stupid deaths.
Yeah. Also, what's the purpose of having this observer ward in your inventory? I guess
that's a good ward against the Pudge.
Against the Pudge.
I would say probably want to place it a little
earlier for sure.
Because otherwise they're going to see in your inventory, see that it's not there, and deward you, especially because you have a Ricky in the lane who they should have sentries against.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. How does this lane get so screwed up so quickly is my question.
Let's see. Tower. Tower again. Blocking and then the tower.
Okay. I was like, why is the lane pushed out so far? Okay, well, that happens sometimes, I suppose. It shouldn't, but it does. Okay, so first things first, we want to click. We'll go to the mid-game stuff in a sec, but we want to click on each of their heroes and just see how much regen they have, because you want to focus the Wraith King most of the time, but if Pudge has this, maybe focusing Pudge is okay, because he only has 3 tangos and he went meat hook first, so you can kind of abuse him having 0 armor. And
dude, he's using the courier. The Pudge is using the fucking courier.
Of course he is. He's a Pudge player.
Hey man, watch your mouth.
Okay, so the first thing I will say, I notice it right off the bat, is that you're playing a support as if you were the carry right now. You're just in the middle of the creeps as a ranged hero when you don't need to be there. Like, sure, Jakiro's kind of tanky, but you want to be like in the trees, poking and prodding them from the sides, you know, and kind of looping around and pulling.
Also
the lane back.
pulling.
Yes. And pulling the lane back so you can actually play this lane correctly.
I believe we should just have a rule that if you didn't pull the lane, we will not look at the laning stage.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule, actually. I'm down. I mean, so you messed up the pull through. This pull through is actually really fucking hard. It's almost impossible to do. So you can avoid that by stacking and pulling a double small camp, and pulling this hard camp over here on that first wave that gets pushed out.
Yep. The hard. That's what a lot of supports are doing right now.
Yeah.
Is pulling the hard camp first.
Yep.
Fucking hard on Radiant though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is really hard.
Thank God I'm not a safe laner.
I actually hate the camp. All right.
Yeah, they need to change that.
So cool. We're fighting. We're brawling. We're pushing the lane. We need to be pulling the wave. You're playing a hero that just naturally pushes the wave if you're supporting and you're harassing in the lane. But oh my God, this Pudge is happy right now. How much experience is he going to get, Jenkins? He's going to get at least a level.
I mean, it would be 2 levels if he just got a solo.
Yep.
Dude, he's getting denies as well. Jesus Christ. That's a rich Pudge.
Okay, first item, Magic Wand. How do you feel about that?
I would say you probably want to save that gold for wards. If you're a pause 5 and you have money for stick and boots and you're buying out items, I'm going to be mad at you as a safe laner. Because that's wards, that's windlace. There's a whole lot of little tiny items that you would love to have that are not just wand recipe sitting in stash.
Yep. Also, stack this camp. Don't stack this camp. Stacking this camp is almost better for the other team because they can use it to pull and deny you entire creep waves very quickly. So stack the small camp and pull the small camp, and only pull.
Let's go to the mid game. I think.
Agreed. All right, 22 minutes.
Because he said he fucked up the pulls on the laning stage, so
right.
That's just that's just life.
Batman and the Keebler elf.
The Keebler elf.
Yeah, how's your treehouse treating you at this time in year?
Is it the Keebler elf? Is that a Batman villain?
No, the Keebler elf is the guy who makes cookies in the tree. Keebler elf cookies. You've never seen those before?
No.
Is that just an
Sounds
American brand?
like it sounds familiar. Oh, that guy. Ernie. Ernie Keebler. No, I'm a guy who went had a what's it called when you go I went to a coma on St. Patrick's Day and then woke up on Halloween.
Oh,
That's my backstory.
interesting. That's great
And
lore. It's great
and
lore for
now
you.
I make cookies in a treehouse. And my name is Ernie.
Sounds like a pretty solid. Whoa.
This is stupid.
This is
This
a
is
very dumb death.
this is a stupid death.
Yeah, first of all, you don't
All
even
right.
need to be here.
Your job is done. Leave.
Yeah. Yeah,
Go away.
why are we blowing
Leave.
all of our
You
spells?
forced 3 teepees here. Go away. Go do this somewhere else that they can't be because they all TP'd mid. I think 4 people just TP mid. Click on their TPs. I'm curious.
Yeah. No TP on Pudge. No TP on Wraith King. No TP on Zeus. No TP on PA. No TP on Lion.
If you literally did the exact same thing, but just ran away when they all TP'd, that single play might win you Dota. Legitimately. Like,
yeah.
That is what 7K players consider high skill. I say that because I play with a bunch of 7K players that see people hit sick hooks and shit, and they never say that's high skill. You know what they say is high skill? When somebody says, hey, I'm going to force TPs here, and then they do, and then they leave without dying, and they say, wow, that was fucking sick, because it's that game ruining for the enemy team.
Yeah.
Do all of these same things, except stop standing in the lane. You need to be fast. You need to be way faster with this. Leave now.
Right, exactly. You've already pushed this wave. You don't need to get these last hits. It's gonna push because you already used your spell once. Now get the hell out of here. Oh, and you're dead.
So so they smoked on you, which is why this was okay. Pause for a second here. So, all right, I've given this talk quite a few times, and the first person that I gave this talk to was my brother-in-law, and I tell this story, I don't know, a few times every stream. He was playing Weaver. He was against a Pango. He did this exact same thing where he went and split pushed a wave, which is good because clearing waves, fantastic in Dota. However, he went for the last hits. So Pango, he silenced him because it was back when Pango could silence. So all I had to say to him is if you go watch our TZ do the same thing, he throws his Weaver bugs at the wave and he doesn't even fucking Sakuchi through it because if the enemy team is good, they will already be there with a sentry waiting for you to Sakuchi through it. Yep. In this case, you have just experienced, because the enemy team is lucky, you have just experienced what it is like to be probably a 6 to 7K player. You are standing in the mid wave for 2 to 3 seconds, which normally in this bracket probably wouldn't get you killed. Yep. But because they happen to be smoked there, which is a good thing, so they are playing good Dota. I don't know if it's because they're good and they just are ranking up right now or because they're lucky, but it doesn't matter. They're playing good Dota and you got punished for playing bad Dota. So all you need to do is push the wave and leave as soon as possible, as soon as you've accomplished the job, because otherwise you're going to get to a certain bracket where you're ranking up where you will no longer be able to split push, because in the lowest possible bracket it takes people 30 seconds to react, and the next one 15 seconds, and the next bracket 10 seconds, and the next one 5 seconds. Then when you get to tier 1 players, if you're playing in High Immortal, you get a game with like Arteezy, he will already know where you're going to be and he will be waiting to kill you. So you need to figure out some way to push that lane without putting yourself in any danger. And if you just err on the side of caution always in Dota, you will literally never fucking die. And because this is a lower rated bracket, not 7K or something like that, you will force TPs, just like we saw in the mid lane. You forced 5 people to TP to a lane. That ruins their map. They do not have enough camps around that tower for all of them to farm. So if you just back off and your team farms the whole map, 3K gold right there. And do you know what a 3K gold lead is at 20 minutes into the game? Fucking unlosable. You can't lose. Yeah. So do the same thing, except faster. Fast. assume the enemy team is tier 1 players. Yeah. I guarantee you, if you keep doing this, you said you have a 70% win rate with Jakiro. I guarantee you, if you do this and do it as fast as possible and don't try to get the last hits, you will legitimately rank up 1,000 MMR because you're already doing the part of being in lanes and pushing the lanes. Yeah. That is the good part.
And your itemization is even pretty good and everything. So just like right here, literally just macro pyre this wave and walk away. That'll clear the wave. You don't need your macro pyre. It's like one of the worst team fighting spells in the entire game. It's really good for depushing lanes and defending towers. So just macro pyre the wave, walk away.
God, your axe even showed that he TP'd bots. So you're just like, oh, this is a free Jakiro. But the concept behind this is applicable to probably 90% of your deaths because this is the thing that usually gets you killed on Jakiro. So I feel like we don't even need to watch any more of it just because whenever you die, it's almost always. This is just not split pushing as optimally as you can. Right. This is just suboptimal split pushing. That's all it is.
All right, here we go. Here's the moment where the game is lost, and it is a moment where you guys are taking a random fight for absolutely no reason on the enemy shrine. And we're all just going to run to the fight. Imagine if you were bottom pushing this tower right now instead of just running to this random fight. Unless you're getting Roshan next, I think. But even then, you want to just be in Roshan. You don't want to be up here, right?
I mean, when you're Mirana, this is when you would probably look to...
just leave. Your Mirana's dead. Maybe. Mirana's dead.
Spooky. Oh my god, do not go back in, you maniacs.
Kill the Zeus. Fight is very split. Oh, and they're thinking about going back in. Axe is going back in.
What does this fight accomplish?
And now you're back in.
What does it do?
Man.
What tower are you getting from this?
Right.
This just kills.
Yeah, you just fed PA a triple kill, and now she has BKB, and now you lose the game. All right. Well, that's why you lost. So don't take random fights with no purpose. Just make sure that every fight is near an objective, or don't take a fight. And if a fight looks like it's going bad because one of your key heroes dies immediately, just leave. Stay back.
Yeah.
And then let your team die.
Better. It's way better to lose one guy because the fight just didn't go as you planned than to just commit to it. Sunken cost, you know? You don't... Just because you spent doesn't mean you have to continue spending if it's just a losing battle.
Yeah, exactly.
So next up, we have the Architect. He says he played Void, bad rotations, bad chronos, and I held my BKB too much, which resulted in getting chain stunned. Sounds like you don't need us to watch the replay. You already know what went wrong.
Right. All right. Let's see the itemization first and foremost.
Pretty standard, other than the Aghanims that you're building. But I guess you have an Arc Warden, so it's pretty decent.
Monkey King Bar. I don't see a huge reason for Monkey King Bar in this game, if I'm being honest. I think Diffusal seems way better this game against a Morphling.
Diffusal's a good item.
Or a Butterfly.
Diffusal is juicy.
Yeah, Diffusal or Butterfly against Morphling, Mirana, Slardar. Those all seem
I love Satanic
options.
On Void too, because if you have Satanic, BKB plus your Q and Chrono, it's like impossible to die. They just can't chain stun you.
Yeah, actually, that's like the meta build that everybody was going at ESL on Void.
Mjolnir, BKB, Satanic.
Yep.
Or Maelstrom, BKB, Mjolnir, Satanic.
Yep, exactly.
Combinations of that.
Yeah, because you get so much health, the stat resistance.
Butterfly.
Yep. I mean, Satanic gives a decent amount of damage. It's like what?
It does actually.
30, something like that.
That's like I think it's 25 or is it
25,
50?
30.
I think
it used to be 50.
It used to be
50.
Point.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not 50. That'd be fucking crazy. Yeah, 25 attack damage, 25 strength, 30% status resistance.
Yeah. Plus the most ridiculous amount of lifesteal you can imagine.
I mean, the status resist with the lifesteal is just nuts because you get hits in between the stuns and it heals you to fucking full HP.
Right.
Especially if you bash.
Does your secondary bash also lifesteal for you?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very solid. Hey Donnie, it's cool that you're high rated enough that you're actually getting in games with like Henry and stuff.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's fun.
You're getting there.
I think the highest I played with like a rank 50 the other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I don't remember. It's a lot of Peruvians. At these, like, depending on when I play, because I play quite a bit in the morning just because I wake up and I don't have other stuff to do. And so I've been getting a lot of games where I'm the only English speaker on my team with like a bunch of super high rated Peruvians, and those games can be super hit or miss depending, because communication is non-existent.
Those are some crazy games at that hour, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a nice cask. A little bit of damage. I mean, it's still completely useless, but
sneaking around. I like this. You're splitting them up.
This is really good. Yeah, not enough people do that. I mean, you don't out-click the guy in the rune, but doesn't matter. You just click faster.
Yep. And just the fact that you were able to get away from a fight that you probably don't want to take and at least attempt to secure a rune.
Yep.
Let the creeps through. That's good. Basic laning stuff. Unfortunately, without those bounties, you can't get a Quelling Blade, but should be able to get that soon. Your Witch Doctor took the last hit on the range creep, which happens.
This is
sometimes.
fine. A lot of the time lanes will push like this eventually. Like this is pretty natural for the safe lane right now.
It just needs
so
to
this
be
is
pulled.
Fine because at least you have like a minute where you're free farming under your tower.
Yep.
I mean, ideally you'd have a Quelling Blade for that, and you'd have more CS. But yeah, I mean, it's fine that it pushes right now. I think it's totally unrealistic in the current meta to try to expect to control equilibrium in front of your tower versus 2 forever. It doesn't happen.
It never happens. It's all about, and honestly, I think what happened here is better, because I think what's been happening right now is people really like pushing the wave, because not only do you hit level 2 faster, but then all of a sudden you have initiative to be able to start pulling the wave.
Right. If they come over and contest you with both heroes, then they lose creeps, and you don't lose creeps because you've already gotten all of them because you double waved. So yeah, they block that, it seems, which is really interesting considering that. Oh, never mind.
No, it was body blocked with the first trade, I think. Hey, so I have a question for you, Jenkins.
Sure.
As a support, I've been having, in like these higher rated games, I've been having trouble getting the pulls off a lot because the 4s are really good at being over there and being super annoying.
Cores need to help.
Cores need to help, or the lane needs to be pushed farther up, maybe. One of those two things.
Well, the lane needs to be pushed because the core needs to not lose anything for coming over to help you. And positioning matters a lot. Like if the core is standing towards like the left of the lane in this particular situation, for example, then the support has to be worried about like the core coming to help. And if the support gets low enough, the core can like move over, and then the support will leave because they see the core moving over. And you don't even need to really be there. It's just you need a position to the left and like look like you're going. That's how I secure bounty runs now too, is that I just position in a way that if the enemy team goes for it, I'll get there first.
Right.
So they won't go for it, and then I just don't go for it. My support gets it. But if I wasn't positioning there, they would just run and go get it.
Right.
I think it's like the same thing.
Yeah,
your positioning matters a lot in Dota. Like you're actually accomplishing nothing, but you're giving yourself the ability to accomplish something.
Yep.
And that's like what's game winning.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm fairly impressed with your last hitting in this game. Like,
no, this is good. This is good so far. Yeah.
You're only Crusader 2, but I think that so far you've played the lane really well.
I agree.
Like really, really well, actually.
That pull needs to be happening right now.
Yeah.
The hard camp pull.
Oh no, Witch Doctor, you're getting drawn into a fight. Brawling in the lane against 2 heroes that want to brawl with you instead of controlling the lane equilibrium.
Oh, nobody remembered bounties.
That's
when, as a Void, you like can position to the left.
Yep.
And to the right because the bounties are spawning. So that was just you're playing on the wrong side of the lane there.
Even gets the pull off for himself because Witch Doctor's being pretty useless.
Good damage.
Yep. All right, so let's fast forward. Laning looks pretty good.
So most important thing coming up soon is Chronosphere.
Yep.
And trying to make a play off of it. Either you want to chrono somebody in this lane or you want to chrono somebody in another lane. It doesn't really matter. If you go like chrono top, then you're going to go lane there. And I think you're doing fine enough that you could probably lane any hero in this game, other than maybe like, is that a core Earthshaker? Maybe not Earthshaker.
Yeah, I think
But
it's
you could.
mid Earthshaker. Okay, so we have Chronosphere. Let's check Witch Doctor. He's got 2 points in Melodic, 2 points in Cask. Is that enough damage to get a kill on Marana? Probably.
I think so.
Is it enough to kill Slardar?
I think so, probably.
Probably. It'll be harder because he has 1,000 health, but
you just hit him until you get a bash.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, this is fine.
Yep. And there's the Chrono. And should be a kill. Oh! He should be dead, yeah. Uh-oh. And now you just TP to the shrine. All right. Or you can walk over there, I suppose, but TPing is just faster. And with
possibility of like TPing towards the top lane too, if you don't want to continue playing bot.
Right.
Morphling seems to be kind of owning though. I don't know if you can play versus Morph. But bot is a hard lane to just sit and play in. They're going to be constantly pressuring.
Yeah, I think now you kind of just start farming your way over to the other side of the map, right? That makes the most sense. You've got Chronosphere coming up in 40 seconds. You can kind of just like maneuver your way over.
Well, I would say like, yeah, TP to like the triangle shrine there, and then just wait for Chrono, and then go Chrono top. Just have your Witch Doctor hold bot. That seems like a pretty decent idea. Greedy bastard.
You were not
greedy bastard.
Not expecting him to have 4 points in Enchant Totem where he just hits you for 400 damage. That's funny.
TP top, go for Morphling. He's a hero that you have to like Chrono then leap. Can we go back?
Yeah.
There's a lot of heroes.
You mean Chrono from the trees and then leap into it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is this far enough back? No.
If he gets his stat morph off, you just can't kill him.
Yeah, like right there is the time.
Right there, you Chrono him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sitting on like how much health? 540. Yeah, he just dies, dog. You just Chrono him.
Yeah. And you have the vision, right? You've got this Observer Ward to set it up. So yeah,
just Chrono right now.
Pull the trigger.
You plus Silencer is enough to kill him.
Yeah.
The problem is letting him like possibly get the morph off. He actually could die there, I think, if you Chrono.
Yep, I agree.
And if he doesn't die, you just leave and go farm, and it's no big deal.
Yep. So right now, I think is one of the toughest things for carry players to figure out. So they came top. They intended to Chrono. Now their whole team is top. What do? You don't have TP. You're kind of like middling HP. Do you jungle? Do you stick with your team? Do you pressure the tower? What should you do as a carry, would you say?
I think you can still go pressure this tower because you have Chrono. I mean, this is pretty fucking bad, honestly. I would say like you probably want to head towards mid. If nobody else on your team's going to do it, you just like head towards mid because it's the adjacent lane. So if a fight starts, you can still get there, or they can get to you. But having 3 cores, like playing 3 lanes where you're just taking the tower, you just lose so much gold on the map from doing that. You want somebody to be playing elsewhere.
Right.
Also, I would really recommend like a salve, probably.
Yeah, you're not fight ready right now, so if you need to fight, you just can't. Steal. I agree. Picking up a casual mask is really good because you can turn it into a satanic later.
Yeah, eventually it turns into a satanic, exactly.
And then it keeps you high enough HP to where you can show up to a fight with Chronosphere because, I mean, you have this spell that automatically gets you a kill.
It's especially good in these games where it's kind of difficult for you to play any lane. I think like if Earthshake, like think about, I know people think like the laning stage ends at 10 minutes or whatever. In my opinion, there's 2 laning stages. Second laning stage ends at 10 minutes, but regardless, laning stage does not last past 10 minutes, right? So still, if you're farming the map, you're going to likely be playing into enemy cores sometimes, right? You're going to be playing against like an Earthshaker who's farming a lane, or a Morphling who's farming a lane, or a Slardar who's farming a lane. And I think without lifesteal, you cannot play into any of them really, unless like you have Chronosphere up. But what if you just want, especially if you're low HP? So I think you're going to spend a lot of time in the jungle because it's hard for you to like play. You're going to push a creep wave, go jungle. Push a creep wave, go jungle. And I think the mask sets up for that.
Yep. Also, right now, You pushed out the wave. You should TP mid. There's absolutely no reason to ever get involved in a fight without Chronosphere on this hero.
Oh yeah, without Chrono, you never fight. Tell your team to fuck off. Like you just don't fight.
So you make the call to go into their jungle. That's
maniac.
That's just crazy. Even if it works out, it is a very bad play. That will lose you games more often than not. And we're all about making...
It did not work out.
No, it did not. We're all about making the high percentage plays here because that's how you actually gain MMR very quickly.
Lose the mid tower because of the fight.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a direct result.
Yep. All right, so we've got Maelstrom now.
And they take your triangle, which gets you killed.
Yep. Yeah, all of that doesn't happen if you don't make that bad call to take a fight there.
So yeah, that's like a number one easy thing that you can fix is just don't fight without Chrono unless the enemy team is doing something very stupid. Look at that, you killed the Morphling with the Chrono. Like, why not just fight every single time you have that and just guarantee that every single time you have it, you're going to get a gold lead?
Yeah, you killed a Morphling who has Ags, which is basically the point at which the game is over because you can't kill him anymore.
Morph Shaker shouldn't lose Dota at this point.
It might be the most broken combo I've ever seen in the game.
It's pretty nuts. It's pretty not okay.
Yeah. Can you think of a better combo? I mean, there's.
I can actually.
What's that?
Coddle Ember.
Coddle Ember.
Coddle Ember. You have, at a certain point, you have like permanent searing chains.
Okay.
And
double sleight of fists.
And double sleight of fists. It's. I don't know if it's better, but it's on the same level. Tiny Void was the thing for a while, but
with the Ags.
Ags, yeah.
Also, some of those Naga combos are really
Naga Jakiro,
really
Naga Disruptor, yeah.
Naga Enigma, like just anything that sets up for like these massive game-winning spells. All you have to do is press R.
I like the Naga Jakiro and Naga Disruptor because those are two heroes that will lane really well with the Naga as well, and it's like I really really like that. And then you can just kind of have whatever on your other cores and other heroes. And you just pick a lane that's good and then a combo that's good as well. Which is why I also like Coddle Ember. That shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Morphling and Earthshaker, I feel like they have complementary skill sets too. Like Shaker wants to fight early, wants to run around, he's tanky. He can kind of like make the game easy for the points where it's hard for Morphling.
Yep. Agreed. Unless the Shaker's rushing Ags, which I've seen a lot of them do. It's like Shaker's rushing Ags, Morphling's also rushing Ags.
I think it's okay. I honestly think it's okay to rush Ags on Shaker. But you play as a frontliner. Like you go like bracers.
Right, you got to be tanky. Ags. You can't just like sit in the trees with half of your Ags finished. Like
no. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Next one.
I did not do that on purpose. That was a mistake. I'm fucking done. When I saw what the hero was for the next replay, I decided that I was done with it.
You talking about my boy, position 5 Chaos Knight?
Yes, I am. I'm disgusted. I'm actually out of here. Just kidding. I'm going to get more tea. I'll be right back.
All right. So first of all, I don't like your item build. I think that you cannot lane against a hero like Dazzle and expect to be on top of him with Orb of Venom and Brewmaster for that matter. You're playing against 2 slows, so getting an Oov doesn't make any sense. I think what you're really looking to do here, I mean, this is sort of an interesting lane because you guys have two very strong laners that you're playing.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
So
oh my fuck, this inventory. I hate you, Donnie. I hate you.
I don't like this inventory. It's
Okay,
not good.
alright.
It's not good. This Oov,
I still hate you for
this
this.
Oov is bad. I think you just need a bunch of regen, and you're just trying to hit people and trade with them with your crit.
Wait. Go to the stun. Pause for a second. All right. Okay. All right. Listen. If I'm picking a fucking pause 5 CK on my team and hover over the stun again, and he doesn't go for a possible 180 damage nuke or 2.2 second stun at level 1, I'm going to be fuming fucking mad because it's 110 mana and you can hit somebody like 2 times or 3 times with it with like 70 base damage, or you can crit for like 100. Why don't you just, and then you have kill threat with the stun.
Yeah,
dude, it's 160% crit, 25% lifesteal. Just buy an extra set of tangos, 3 mangoes, and stun people.
Yeah. I mean, in this lane in particular, you've got the gyro. So if you get a 2.2 second stun and he rocket barrages somebody, they just die. So that's pretty nasty. I think that you can go for the Chaos Strike if you're laning for like a drow and you're basically just like a frontliner ogre where you just have to sit there and soak damage and trade.
I can fuck with that. Honestly. But yeah, that's honestly a nice nuke at level 1. That CK stun.
Yeah, it's really good actually.
Dude, 180 damage, and it works. It's like the stun duration and the damage have the inverse relationship now. So if you get a 2.2 second stun, it's going to do 90 damage. If you get a 1.25 second stun, number one, that's still a good stun at level 1.
Right.
Which is stupid. But it does 180 damage.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big boy. That's a big boy nuke. Okay, this guy dies anyway because he's an idiot. Well, because he's Monkey King offlane. That's the first problem.
Monkey King offlane. Does he have a stout? He does, but he has no reach.
He has an Oov.
So
look at that damage. All right, this game is over.
You guys are massacring them.
Did they lose or did they win this?
They lost.
Okay. Nice. Suicide.
Yeah. Gives it to the other team. That's okay. So he's 4-1-1. This is what a position 5 Chaos Knight lane should look like. You should just be murdering the other team. It's very easy to kill people with Chaos Knight. And that's what you're doing. Picks up a bracer. I like that. I think that you should have like a salve or another set of tangos though, because you're coming back into the lane 2 minutes in.
I think you need to go pull because you can't kill them under their tower, even though you're a CK. You can't do it.
That as well. That as well.
No matter what support you are, you always need to pull for aggressive or defensive purposes.
Yep.
Because you just can't play Dota under the enemy team's tower. Look at that kill. That's a kill if you're not right in front of their tower.
Yep.
Like, that's a perfect example of why you should be pulling right now, is because you can't kill them even in a situation where you're dumpstering them like this.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, so I mean, if you don't pull, I mean, this laning stage is effectively useless. It's been nullified at this point. You will get the pull now. Let's see if you get a kill off the back of that. Probably.
Oh, there it is.
Probably.
There's the kill.
Yeah, here it comes. Suddenly, you guys are owning them again, and that's because they had to play aggressively. Or they had to play away from their tower.
Although I don't like the gyro coming over and committing for that long because the creep wave is under the tower. I think the moment Monkey King heads over, it's like, all right, job is done. They're not contesting the pull anymore.
Yep. Agreed.
Like, there's a back and forth that I think needs to happen in a lot of engagements that doesn't in these lower rated brackets, where it's like you're testing the waters, and it's like, all right, if they play into you, you'll kill them, but you just hit them until they're running away, and then you know,
Yeah.
back off.
Also, you should definitely pick up a Bassi if your Gyro's not going to. If nobody else has it, or at least get a Sobi Mask. Having passive regen on this hero is really good because you run out of mana very quickly, especially once you have Rift up. But let's see where things change a little bit, because you're now 6-1. So, what did you do wrong, my friend? Just kind of like slowly
Slipped away.
So I guess maybe we'll just like 8x it and see what you do next.
Brew's a hard kill.
Go mid. Yeah, I don't think you go mid and try and kill a Brewmaster.
I think the only reason you would go mid is with like the intent to force his ultimate if you think that it's important.
Right.
Oh god, and this gets Zeus killed. Yeah, like permanently playing mid is definitely not what you want against a Brewmaster. I think making a move top is possible. I do think that leaving your Gyro is potentially dangerous, especially without like a safe lane ward, because he's playing into like a Monkey King.
Yeah, you guys don't really have like a hard carry. Gyro's not a hard carry. He's a mid game carry, and
tempo hero.
If you expect him to somehow out carry the other team, it's not going to happen. Like they have Monkey, Lycan, Brewmaster, and you guys have an offlane Trent, I guess, or a Techies.
Oh god!
Like there's no chance you guys win this in the late game. So your Gyro needs to have an excellent game, and I think you should be enabling that just by killing Monkey King over and over, because he keeps coming back to this lane, and you have the ability to do so.
I honestly think what should probably happen is that Gyro needs to leave the bot lane, and Techies needs to go there.
Yeah, that too.
That's what Techies wants to do in general, is that you... But, I mean, it's hard when your team is just... this is the most common plight I see in every fucking Gyro game that I see. We've even seen it today on this replay review stream. It's that Gyros, they pick a tempo hero, and then they sit in the safe lane with their dick in their hands for 10 minutes
to play carry.
and only leave when they die.
Yeah.
And sometimes they die, and then they keep going back.
Yeah.
And that is not how you play that hero. That is a hero that wants to run around and he wants to fight.
Yep. Yeah, you heard it here, guys. If you're picking a tempo hero and you're trying to play it as if you're a Naga or a Terrorblade, you are responsible for your losses.
Damn, I just got invited to a Sumail stack.
Nice. Well, let's get this one over and you can go.
This always happens right at the end of
it's good luck, man. Get Sumail in here. Ask him if he wants to do replay review.
Jesus. I don't know.
What's
I don't know
wrong?
if he would do that. I don't think he does shit for EG.
Yeah, but you're boys, remember? You made him famous on YouTube by making a video that got 450,000 views. You should ask him about that while you play. I'm just kidding.
Not doing that.
Yeah, okay, so you get a kill, push the tower.
Holy shit, Universe is in here. All right, this is a good stack. Holy shit.
Are you streaming? You gonna stream it?
No. Not a big streamer these days.
Yeah, I would just say just stop going mid. Like, stop trying to fight their strongest hero. Go fight somebody who's not their strongest hero. And if your teammates are not pushing out the waves, use your ultimate to push waves. But you keep fighting into this Brewmaster, and he's owning you. Because he's the strongest hero on the map right now. Gyro gets a nice kill. But, yeah, also, I don't like phase boots on this hero. You should go Tranquils if you're going to play position 5 Chaos Knight, because you want to just move around as fast as possible. But you don't even need Tranquils. Just get brown boots. You're super fast. And definitely don't go Armlet. You need to buy support items if you're going to play position 5 Chaos Knight. Don't buy an Armlet. Buy support items like Medallion and Vlad's and Crimson Guard and stuff like that. So that's probably the biggest reason why you lost this game, is because you're trying to play core now for some reason. And nobody on your team is out carrying this in the late game. So with that being said,
I don't even know CK, man. I have no idea what you should build my fucking hero as a safe lane support. Like
You definitely just build support
Burn?
items. You get a couple bracers, you get like a buckler, you get Vlad's, you get medallion, you get urn if you need to, and you just run around and support your team with a really reliable stun, a slow that repositions people, and that's pretty much all you got to do. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Happy Halloween once again. We will see you next week for more Patreon and replays, reviews, and yeah. Anything else to add, Jenkins?
Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy. Hit us up. There's 50 coaching sessions
60 plus probably at this point.
There's a lot of coaching sessions on there. And so if you want like 100 hours of content, which I don't know why you would.
It's there.
A lot of the time it's just us saying the same shit, but it's there. So
yep.
Have at it, gentlemen.
All right, ladies. I'm taking off this mask. Oh no, I revealed my secret identity. Ah, stop the stream.